Hey, it's Kim. Thanks for joining me on today's video. Today, I'm going to be going over my journal. So this is my journal setup for 2024, and I say that a little, well, it is my journal setup for 2024. But I will start off by saying that my journals don't only span 1 year. Could be less than a year, could be more. The current one that I have inside of here started in 2023. So we're still working on it in 2024. And I'm okay with that. I did, however, change out the cover and a few details of all of what I'm carrying along with my journal for this year. So that's what we're talking about in today's video. All right, to start off, I have it in a Traveler's Company cover, and this is the one that was the collaboration with Prada, and it's black, obviously, with also the Prada charm that goes along with that. And I have this Superior Labor 2-pin clip on the outside. So this is where I keep my current journaling pen, and maybe if I have a marker or a highlighter or maybe actually multiple pens, I will keep them right here because I do choose my pens based on my mood or based on the vibe. I don't know. I have a lot of pens, so I have the freedom to do that. And I like to make sure that I'm using all of the pens that I have. But anyway, this is what is housing my current journal. And that's no different. My journal has been in a traveler's notebook size for the past few years. I enjoy writing in this size. For whatever reason, I find it more approachable than an A5 kind of size. Maybe the narrower width I vibe with a bit better. The A5 width sometimes feels like too much of a page. So that's how I ended up here. Anything smaller than this feels like it's not enough space. So this is really my sweet spot for journaling. So I found journaling to be extremely important for me over the past few years. I do have a couple of videos all about my journaling journey. It started as kind of like a challenge to myself. So a challenge to see if I could do it every day, a challenge to see if I find any benefit in journaling every day. And I really did. I feel like I could say like this is one of those life-changing types of things in my life. And I feel like it sounds a little bit cheesy for me to say that it's so life-changing and life-affirming. But really it has been. It just has. So it is something that's extremely important for me and in my daily life. So inside of this cover, I do have the Traveler's Company leather wallet insert. I believe that is the name of it. It's from Traveler's Company. It's in the black leather. It has the zipper compartment on this side, which I have nothing in it at the moment. And then on the other side, it has card pockets or card slots for anything else that I may want to carry. So the notebook that I'm using for my journal is, like I said, the same from 2023. And this is the Taroko Shop notebook. Hold on, let me grab the other one that I have. I wanted to grab the other one that I have so that I can get this right, because I didn't want to take this out of the cover. So this is the Taroko notebook. It's made by Taroko Shop on Etsy. I'll leave a link down below. And it is your typical traveler's notebook size, so 110 millimeters by 210 millimeters. And the paper is the Tomoe River Company 68 GSM. So that paper I truly do like. And this is the old Tomoe River paper. I don't know that it matters. So yes, that's the notebook I'm using for my journal. I bought these, I want to say back in 2021. So that's how I can say confidently it is the old Tomoe River paper. But I really do like that 68 GSM for journaling. I feel like if you wanted to add photos, if you wanted to do watercolor, if you wanted to, I don't know, do all that kind of stuff in your journal, this paper is really good for that. It's a nice weight, but it still has the qualities that we tend to love regarding, or that we tend to love in Tomoe River paper, especially being very fountain pen friendly. So that's the notebook I'm using, and this has, I believe, 192 pages. I'm just saying that off the top of my head. I think that might be the size of it, or maybe that's the size of like a half-year Stalogy. I don't know. Something like that. I started it in 2023, January 1st of 2023, and I'm still using it. So I thought that I would be going through like 2 of these in a year if I'm journaling every single day. That hasn't been the case. And I will say I don't necessarily fill up an entire page every day, but I believe that is probably my average, to do like 1 whole page per day or 1 whole page per journaling session. So that was my original plan, but again, I'm only like halfway through this one and we're already at 2024. So that's okay. I'm glad that I have another one to move into as soon as I finish this one. But for me, journaling is a process. It really helps me to process my thoughts and my feelings and to really know what the heck I'm thinking. And it sounds weird, but I think if you are not a journaler or if you are not used to writing out your thoughts, then you won't understand. But if you are used to it, you can relate. In a previous journaling video, I mentioned a couple of quotes that I really do like, and there is one, can't remember off the top of my head who it's by, but it's basically saying something like, I journal so that I know what I'm thinking. And that's exactly how I feel about journaling. And that's exactly why I feel like I need to do it every day. Or that's exactly why I feel like I get the most benefit from doing it every day, or as close to every day as possible. So my journal, which I'm not going to like show you, all of the details. It's not a burn book. I'm not talking about like who I hate and why. I am really just going through my thoughts. There might be some prayers in here. There might be some situations that happen, and I'm kind of recounting those, and in that process thinking or trying to assess what I think about it or how I feel about what happened. So it's really a mixture of a whole lot of stuff that's going on in my brain. And I do say it's not a burn book, so I'm not really talking negatively about anyone or anything. And these are actually journals that my kids could read should they be so inclined. I've already given my husband specific instructions. My journals and things can be passed down to my kids if that's what happens. I do feel like I would have loved to have like this type of thing from my parents, but I don't know, not everybody's into that, but mine could be passed down. There's not anything so personal or so precious that I haven't already dealt with myself. And I think that's the important part. So for instance, if there's something that I'm going through and I'm stressed out and I'm struggling, in the journaling process, that is me figuring it out. That's me figuring out how to get to the other side of it. So as I've journaled through it, I'm over it. So by the time I get to the end of the journaling session or the journaling days or the journaling month about this particular topic, I've processed it and I'm okay with it. And I would be okay with anyone reading how I processed through it or how I got through it. So that's why I feel like it's nothing so sensitive and nothing so personal. If anything, it could actually be like a part of my testimony, a part of, my story of how I got through this life. I'm getting way too deep for this video. But that is just to explain my personal relationship with journaling. Again, I do have those videos that I mentioned, and I do challenge you guys. Like if anyone's partially, marginally interested in maybe trying to see how journaling might affect your life, I say give it a shot. Do like a 30-day challenge. You don't have to journal like an entire page, just something, anything to start with. You can do a type of morning pages flow where you're really writing all the things that come to your brain. Anything. No holds barred. Just anything that comes to your brain. It could be about what you ate last night. It could be about the weather for today. It could be about how you love the fluffy socks that you are currently wearing. It's anything. It's really just like an exercise to put you in the place or the mind space of being able to take those thoughts from your brain and put them down onto a piece of paper in the processing process, I guess. Also, I find that journaling helps to relieve my brain of unnecessary stressors. So if there are things that I need to plot out or think through, I put them down on paper and it gets it off of my brain. It makes it so that I'm not so physically stressed or emotionally tied to whatever that is. I feel like I could be explaining that better, but it helps me to take those things from my brain, put them onto paper, and then I can process them here. I don't have to hold on to them. I don't have to lament over them. I don't have to be stressed out about them internally. I'm kind of putting it onto a piece of paper, and here's where we work it out. If I step away from this piece of paper, I'm not thinking about this. And I think that's the most important part of it. Whereas if I leave it in my brain, I'm still mulling it over when I should be focused on something else. And maybe it's becoming a distraction. So that's another tool for which I use journaling. So I have that notebook, 192 pages, I believe. And I also have in here this Travelers Company clip. This is just one of their brass clips, and I use that to hold my pages open. Trying to focus. So I use that to hold the notebook open if I need to, and I have that attached to this bookmark. So this is one of the bookmarks that I made for myself in a past tutorial all about how to make laminated bookmarks. I'll link that for anyone interested. But I actually cut this piece of sterling ink vellum down in order to make this bookmark, and I didn't want this to go to waste. It's such a beautiful piece of vellum. I knew that I actually wanted to use this for my 2024 journal setup. I do have another full sheet of it, but I was trying to conserve as much as possible. So I just used that sheet of vellum that I cut down and put it into here, into this cover, so that I have another full sheet I can do with whatever I want. And I know that I wanted this placement. So I wanted this part of the image to be closer onto this front cover, yada, yada, yada. But in a nice turn of events, it made it so that this bookmark that I have actually lines up with where I cut the sheet of paper. So that's where I keep it. Nobody knows but me. But that still brings me a little bit of joy, because otherwise you just have this white piece of paper under there. It's not so pretty to look at. Nobody's looking at it, but if you were. So this is the other side of that leather Travelers Company wallet on the back. And then I did add a second string into this notebook. I do that for all of my Travelers Company notebooks. I haven't done more than 2 yet. I could, but I haven't. And I show how I add the strings in my Travelers notebook customization video, where I customize my olive green Travelers notebook. So I show exactly how I add additional elastics inside, but I did that for this one. And I've been waffling about what to keep in here if I wanted to keep anything else in here. So this insert is actually the Yosaka Stationery and Travelers Company collaboration that they did. It is beautiful. It's like gilded and gold, and it's just so pretty. And it's that dark Yosaka green, and it has this beautiful image on the back as well. And it is one of the Tomoe River paper inserts. So it is blank, and it's the white Tomoe River paper, probably in the 52 GSM. That's what it feels like. And I don't know how I'm going to use this yet. Now, I put it in here because I was thinking about starting a handwriting journal. And it's really just for like a handwriting notebook, just for practice, for different handwriting techniques. If you didn't know, I'm a lefty. So I feel like a lot of the brush lettering and hand lettering and pretty cursive writing does not come easily for left-handed people. Also, there aren't a lot of tutorials for left-handed people. But that's okay. But I thought that I might use, or might like to do some type of a handwriting notebook this year. I'm still mulling that over if I really want to do it. And I don't know if I want to do it in here or something that's lined, whatever. So I thought maybe I would use this insert for that. But after I put it in here, I'm sort of on the fence, and the reason is because, so last year in 2023, I kind of fell off of journaling big time, or at least I feel like big time. So in 2022, I pretty much journaled nearly every single day, and I loved it. 2023 started off strong. I think got distracted by life and just, you know, the world, and fell off of that daily or nearly daily journaling habit. And I do feel like I noticed the results of that, or, you know, some somewhat negative results of not journaling daily in 2023. So for a lot of those areas where I feel like I need to focus more, I want a place, or wanted to establish a special place to focus on them. I talked about this in a recent video that I did, all about the lessons that I learned in 2023, and I'll link that for you down below. But one of those was that I'd like to focus on those things that I truly find enriching, I truly find so beneficial for me. And one of those things is journaling. And in that same token, I kind of want my journal to only be my journal. Like, it's that special. It deserves that kind of attention. It deserves, you know, that special place that it's only my journal. So that's why I don't know if I want to have this handwriting notebook in here with it. So that's why I'm a little undecided. I'm leaning towards, I just want my journals to be my journal. But you cannot deny this is a beautiful insert, and I do like what it does. I like what it gives in this whole setup. It's giving. It is giving. So will I keep it in here? I don't know. Even if I do keep it, what am I going to use it for? I don't need any more notebooks, you know, just to write down random notes. So I'm not going to do that. Maybe it'll just live here because it's pretty. You know, we're planners. We do things just because they're pretty, and that's a-okay. So we'll see about that, and we'll see how it evolves. So before I go, I do want to show you, I know I did like a little quick flip of all the pages that I have inside of my journal, but as you can see, I like to decorate the pages. Otherwise, it's just endless pages of just writing, and that doesn't entirely appeal to me. So what I like to do is add deco to all of my pages, and I typically will do this ahead of time. So I did maybe about a week or so ago do a few, you know, spreads and added some deco to them. And for me, that helps. Okay, so because I love a pretty journal, this makes it so there are no barriers to entry. So there are no barriers when I sit down and I pick up my journal because I have something that I actually really want to write about. I'm not wasting time putting down stickers before I start the journaling. That is absolutely 100% destined for distraction for me if I did that. So I like to go through and I will use up some of my stickers and some washi. I'm on a quest to kind of use up a lot of my older, what do you call them? Happy Planner. Happy Planner? Is that what it's called? I think so. Happy Planner sticker books. Like, I have a lot of them. So I want to use them up, especially the ones that still kind of vibe with my color schemes. I got rid of the other ones that aren't really my style anymore. But I'll put down some washi and some stickers. I also like to use those rub-on stickers. I used some of those in my last Journal With Me video. Side note, I cannot find where they are right now. I have been looking for them all over the place, and I really have no idea where they are because I have a whole lot of them in one little binder. But anyway, so I will put those down. I like to use those in here as well. And they don't create too much bulk, but even if they did, it doesn't really matter too much because, like I said, this is that 68 GSM Tomoe River paper, and it's really thick and it really kind of stands up to washi and stickers. But yeah, I will go in and pre-decorate the pages because I don't want any hindrances from me sitting down to journal, but at the same time, I still want it to look really pretty. So I will take the time to add in that deco ahead of time. And as you can see, I probably have 5 or 6 spreads done. And I was thinking that I actually will fill out all of these in here. Like, why not? This is going to be my journal. I'm committed. you know, it's not like I'm using the pages for something else that the, you know, decoration will not vibe with. So I think I'm gonna do that, like maybe on a night where I'm watching some Netflix, or I don't have a lot of other things to do. I mean, like, what night is that? But I don't know. I would sit down and just decorate a few pages, and I'm okay with filling up the entire book. And I do pick my fountain pens and inks sometimes based on whatever the deco is. So I will pick a specific color based on what I have going on here. Like, I already know what pen I'm using on this spread, what pen and what ink. Weird, maybe, but this is the pen that I'm going to be using, and it's a blue / greenish Sailor ink that's gonna look beautiful on these pages. So I feel like that's another part that helps me to enjoy the whole journaling process, making it pretty. And I encourage you to do the same. You know, if journaling is something that you want to start, make it so that you're actually going to be interested in continuing. This is one way that I've been able to do that for myself. So that, my friends, covers my 2024 journal. That is a very integral part of my 2024 planner and journal lineup. Thank you so much for following along on today's video. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below and I'll get right back to you. I'll have anything I mentioned linked in the description and hopefully up in the cards for you as well. Hopefully I'll remember. But again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.